Okay, so I haven't really made a video from this setup for a while, and I don't know if I'm going to in the future, but we'll see. I am glad that it is starting to get chillier out. Um, it's mid October, and we just had a 83-degree day, 84-degree day a couple days ago, so that was disheartening to say the least. But when I look out for the next 2 weeks, it looks like it's going to be like low 70s, 60s, which is absolutely perfect fall weather. Um, so like the whole thing I was thinking about is like our economy, and right now, gold is like popping off, and silver is doing good too. And Bitcoin has dropped, and it's so crazy to see like these gold bugs like uh what's his name? Peter Schiff. Yeah, Peter Schiff. Up here saying that like this is it for Bitcoin. Like, what are you talking about, man? It's just like this misinformation that people put out here, and it's like, dude, BlackRock owns 1 million Bitcoin, okay, and they keep on buying Ethereum and Bitcoin. Those are the ones that they keep on buying. And you want to say that it's over, Bitcoin is done, it's going to zero basically. It's just kind of it's just ridiculous, the thought process, and it's cool, like if people think that gold is gonna be the number one resource store of value. That's cool. I guess we can go back to old days of trading in gold coins, silver coins. I think, do people like to really carry around change? I mean, I don't like. Do honestly, I don't even have any physical money at this point. Which I wanted to go get a couple, couple of 20s or something from the bank. Just to have it. I like to have a little bit in my wallet, like a bill, at least like a $20 bill. But I haven't. Like, I hate coins. I don't like to pay with cash. I don't like getting back coins. That I find them extremely annoying. Okay. So, most of us when we go shopping, we don't really spend with checks anymore. We don't write checks. We don't. I think for the most part, most of us just go ahead and swipe a card or put in our debit card. We don't really sit here and go ahead and do all this extra crap with like we did in the old days. No, we're progressing forward. And yeah, gold is good and metals is good to get into when we have like a inflationary type of economy, which our dollars continue to be devalued, which I think Trump is trying to stop. But I just feel like that's a sinking ship that pretty much just gotta go off onto something else. And I think the something else is Bitcoin, to be honest. And I guess China owns some. I guess they own some, which is very smart. It's good to be diversified. It's good to have some gold. It's good to have some silver. It's good to have some Bitcoin. It's definitely good to be diversified. But to sit here and act like all blockchain technology is trash, like when I'm listening to Turd Flingy Monkey, who is a self-proclaimed economist, which when you listen to him, he sounds really, really intelligent. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about. But then he's like, "This is how it's going to be," and this is all like he's just too much of like I'm always right. When it's like you were wrong with your predictions. Like, you lost money, and he says that he's been sitting in cash for the last 2 years. And I guess it's in a money market, so I haven't really done too much research about the money market. I'm pretty sure he probably gets a percentage of his cash being in there, some type of interest. And obviously, it probably beats inflation. So you definitely don't want to keep your money sitting in some type of bank savings account, like a big amount, like thousands. And it's okay to have like a couple grand, I think. And then like if you have to liquidate, then you have to liquidate your assets. So you want to be able to get to assets relatively easy and being able to liquidate them. Hopefully you don't take massive losses, and that's what would suck if the assets are down right now and you need the money. So that's why you have to make sure that's why you have to make sure you have a couple grand in there, because the market might be down whatever asset you're invested in. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be gold, it could be silver. Yeah, gold is killing it right now, and so is silver. Silver when I first got in was like I think 18 an ounce, and I think it's like 42 an ounce, and then gold was like 1800. I think that's when I got in. Yeah. So I already knew that these were good assets to be in. When our government keeps on printing out all this money, as soon as they give all the stimulus out, and it was printing money to give stimulus out, which what they should have done when they gave the stimulus out is only gave it to people that were essential workers, only people that were having to go to work, not just everybody, not everyone on welfare. And I think like they cut it off to a certain extent when they got up to you make a certain amount a year, they cut you off or something like that. But yeah, you shouldn't have had any people on welfare getting that stimulus. It should have only been people who were working, tax-paying people. Now, if you are on the system, you collect welfare to help subsidize your life, but you still work. You work 40 hours a week. Like, yeah, you should have got stimulus too. I'm talking about the people who are 100% on welfare and they don't contribute anything to the system. They just take to the system. They shouldn't be getting any type of stimulus at all. And I understand, like them getting stimulus, it boosts the economy. I get it. People start buying stuff, but it just feels like the only people that should have got it was the people in the working class. That's the only people that should have got it, because when you got people that got paid more to stay home, and they didn't have to pay. They might have to pay after, if they didn't pay their rent or whatever, they might have to pay it later on. Or they just went bankrupt or whatever. But like these people got paid more to stay home than I got paid to have to go to work. So I just think it's kind of messed up how that worked out. And the place that I worked at, that I went to work back at Michigan, those people were working like 15, 16-hour days every day. And I'm like, there's no way I can do that. There's no way I could work like that. Because they had people calling off all the time. They couldn't come in. People were sick. So like, I think those people should have got rewarded handsomely for that hard work. They had to come in. But it's our economy. It almost seems like, so what I think is going to happen is we're going to deal with more inflation. Now, if we can keep energy prices down, it's not going to be as hard with inflation. But if we can start seeing some benefits next year from the tariffs, whether it's like $1,000 or $2,000 for people like me who pay taxes and work, if we get a rebate from the tariffs, that would be pretty cool. That would probably help the economy out. And it's not a printed out stimulus; it's a stimulus from the actual tariffs. So yes, it's Americans who pay this, and it's the rich people, to be honest, because I can't afford new Jordans, I can't afford new Nike. Like who at my level of making poverty level wages, which I made last year, was $41K, and this year I'll probably make around $30K because I didn't have a job for 4 months. So. Who's going out and affording, 5 days worth of shorts of Nikes. What are they, $50 a pair? What are they, 60, 100? Who the hell knows what they are now? But who at my level can actually afford that? So if we do, we're like, oh, we'll get one maybe or two, but that's it. Like we can't sit here and buy like 5 pairs or Jordans. You know what I mean? So like, the rich people are paying the tariffs. People like me, what are we doing? We're just sitting back and not paying anything, not buying anything. That's what we're doing. Or buy it used. Like I buy my phones used. I just bought an Xbox used. So this is what I'm saying. Like people at my level will just buy stuff used. Like as long as it works, that's all I care about. Like I don't care if it was used. I mean, certain things you care that are if they're used or not. Like you don't want underwear or socks or stuff like that. But if it's like some shoes that are really nice condition and somebody's just selling them because they never used them, and they need to get rid of them because they need the cash. Well, that's a part of the economy too. But it's like when the Democrats are sitting here saying, yeah, like you pay more. Well, you could in some ways, but it's if you need to buy new stuff that are made in a different country. Those people are buying. So like, you need a new iPhone every year. Well, you're gonna be paying the tariffs. You're the one paying like all these high prices. Like all they do is up the prices on these products. So you have to pay the tariff. Sure, the rich people pay the tariffs. I'm not rich. And that's probably why a lot of these Democrats are pissed, because they have to a lot of these people have money and they have to keep up status, and they're like, dang, man, I have to pay more money. Yeah, you have to pay more money, dude. And I'm getting to a point where it's kind of like we're getting like so sophisticated with technology where people should have to pay less for things than other people. So if you're rich and you have like a lot of assets, you should pay higher prices for stuff than me. Okay. And it doesn't have to go into, it could go into some type of UBI system. I think the corporations need to get together, and we need to keep the government and the private sector needs to come together and create some economic system to be able to take care of people who are about to lose their jobs. So some type of UBI system. So like if you go and have an assistant buy something for you, we're getting to the point where we'll just have like AI be able to like figure it out. So like if you're gonna go have your assistant, then you have to go claim that on the taxes, So like for your company. So they'll be able to figure out if you're trying to cheat the system in some type of way, because everything is on chain. Everything is out there for everybody to see, all transactions. And if you don't like that, I think that there should be places where we can hide our store of wealth. So like when I'm walking around, people don't know how much I'm worth. But like, yeah, if I go to the store and my net worth is way higher, like I should have to pay more than somebody, just, it doesn't have to be a ton, it could be an extra $1, but it's to help fund the UBI system so people can be able to live, have a place to stay. We have to have some kind of system for these people, whether it's like they go live in the pods. Maybe I'm one of them. I go live in the pods. So because like what other than that, it's just like, get rid of them. Like, and that's not good, man. I don't think that's good to like genocide people. So, it's just like the welfare system. I think that like it should be limited to a couple years, kind of like unemployment. And if you get on it, if you get on welfare, they don't really look on based off of how much you make. Well, like, dude, get off my back, man. I'm gonna be on Section 8 for a couple of years. I'm just trying to get ahead, man. I'm working. Yeah, I need some help from you guys to help like pay for my rent for now, for my food for now, so I can save. If I'm saving and I'm doing good and I'm trying to get off the system, that's that they should be. Would it be better for somebody to be on the system for a couple of years and then they try to help them find a job where it's like, this is a safety net. I fell on hard times. So maybe I don't need the whole 2 years. Maybe I only need like 6 months where I don't have to worry about expenses, and I just have to, and I can just go to work and like everything's taken care of. But I'm saving money so I can get on my feet again, and I can get a decent job, and I can get my own place and finally be in and be off the welfare. Other than that, it's like, okay, then I guess we're just gonna keep on like incentivizing women to get on the welfare, and then she'll never be able to get off because. If she brings a man into where she lives, if it's 100% paid for, she's trying to hide the guy, and it's kind of like these places, these Section 8 places shouldn't be like lifetime places where people like go for their whole life. These are places where people should go for a little bit of time when they're on hard times. And they should be safe places. They shouldn't even be like bad places. It should just be like, yeah, I'm just like trying to get my life together. I made some mistakes. I don't want to be homeless. I want to end up being a contributing member of society. But like, I don't have any support. I don't have any family. So like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm not on drugs. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people that are homeless, they end up like because they burnt bridges. For family members, or they're on drugs, or you know what I mean. Like a lot of that. If you're on drugs, you're probably going to burn a lot of bridges when it comes to your family. So a lot of these people did this to themselves. But like, there's people that lose their jobs, and it's like, dude, I just got hurt. I just broke my leg. Like, I'm out here trying to be an alpha male. I'm trying to do all this, trying to make all this money. But what happens? I'm playing a pickup game. And somebody lands on my knee, goes the opposite way. I can't go to work anymore because of my injury. I can't walk. So, like, my job requires me to be able to walk around, use my limbs. I have to stand up all day. So, I'm off of work for, like, 3 months. I have nothing coming in. That job was my whole, like, that was all my income coming in. So, now it's like, if I have anything saved, it's getting thrown out. On top of that, I have all these hospital bills that are about to come in because like I didn't make my deductible. So I have like a bunch of hospital bills I'm gonna have to go for like $6,000 to $7,000. At the same time, I'm paying my deductible on my health care. Maybe I just been barely making it and just been paying my bills and that's it. And maybe I have like child support I'm paying too, so I don't have a lot of extra money. So it's just like one little thing like that could happen, and then you lose it all. And it's kind of like, then what? Where do I go if you don't have any family? On the street, like, so. Like for me, and I was very grateful, and I'm not going to go into in depth about the situation, but I lost my job at the first of the year. Like it was like the 15th of the year. I basically quit. Okay, I was sick. I didn't have any points left. I knew I was done. Maybe I could have talked to somebody and been like, "Hey, can you let me go?" But I was basically. I was done with that job because it was just getting harder and harder and harder, and just like it was really pissing me off, to be honest. And I wasn't going to go anywhere. I wasn't going to learn anything new. It's like it was so repetitive, and I was done with that job. I've already did that job before, and and it's just. So I had to move out of there because there's no jobs really in Michigan. So I got the hell out of there. And I moved into my mom's basement for about a month and a half. And it was really hard. There's a lot of people living there. And, and I had a job first thing as soon as I got here. I had a decent paying job, so and that's still my job today. But yeah, like if something like that was to happen, you know, so like what happens like right now, if it was just me by myself living here, I would lose my job because I couldn't work for a few months. Probably, most likely, I'd lose my job. Break my leg skateboarding or something. Well, then I would go through all my assets, my resources, and ex- those would be all used up. I would have a bunch of like hospital bills coming out I'd have to compensate for, which my health insurance wouldn't pay for because I didn't meet the deductible of what, 13,000. Or what is it about to be this year? Next year, was it about to be about 20,000? It's kind of so this it's just like, okay, I have to pay you 60 to $100 a week, and I have a $20,000 deductible, but I don't ever go to the doctor. So like, even if I had to go to the emergency room one time for like a broken leg or something like that, and a couple of visits afterwards, what is that going to run me? $10,000? So I'm pretty much better off just not having insurance and just eating that bill anyway, because I'm going to eat it anyway, right? I'm going to have to eat that whole bill anyway because they don't want to pay the deduct. Like I didn't fulfill the deductible, so they won't pay that. So I have to eat that bill anyway. So why would I have the health insurance? Like, the whole reason for health insurance is so I don't have to eat that bill. Well, they don't want to pay for shit no more, so there's no point to have health insurance. That's how I feel, and that's why I currently don't have it, and I can barely skate by on what I have. Like, if I had to pay health insurance, I would be in the red every month, probably. Pretty damn close to the red. And they don't pay for shit. They don't want to pay for anything. So it's like, why do I have it then? If I was to pay, if I'm going to be in the red every month because of health insurance, you're going to pay for all my shit. You're going to pay. I'm not going to have any co-pays. I'm not going to have any of that shit. Like, it's just kind of ridiculous, man. We have huge fucking co-pays. $100 co-pays. Like, they used to be 25, now they're $100 fucking dollars. Now inflation and shit like that, but still, like, dude, I remember in 2011 or 2010 when I had hernia surgery, I didn't have a single copay. I paid a weekly premium, and that's it. And back then it was $89, and that'd probably be about $200 a week nowadays. So, but I didn't have to pay for the surgery. I didn't have to pay any copay. I didn't have to worry about no deductible. I didn't have to worry about any of that shit. I had really good health insurance. They covered it all. We don't have that no more. It's absolutely ridiculous where we're sitting at right now in our country. And it's getting worse. It's like, and you would think that these people who are CEOs would be like, okay, we've ripped off these young people enough. Maybe we should start giving back, because if we keep on taking record profits and they can't spend any money, who's going to buy our stuff? And I'm a big advocate for like AI and stuff like that. So, because I think it'll lower the prices. Why would you keep your prices high or even raise them when robots are doing all the work? You know what I mean? There's no human labor. The only thing you have to worry about is electricity and maintenance. You don't have to worry about paying people a salary, any of the extras. You don't have to worry about it. So like, your overhead just dropped by a ton. So should your prices. And the ones that don't change their prices and just want like skyrocketed profits, like that are like, sure, you'll probably get a couple of those, and until people get pissed at you and revolt. So it's kind of like you got to have a little bit of awareness, because like I don't care who you are. I don't care where we're going to be at technology wise. You could be in like the most secure bunker ever. I could be the most richest person, the most powerful person ever. I could be sitting in a bunker somewhere making this video, just like 80 miles deep into the earth, or I could just be sitting on Mars all by myself. Anybody can be touched. Anybody can. Now, it would be harder to touch me if I'm in the bottom of the ocean, but like, you know, it could happen because chances are I'm going to be relying on people to sustain my life in some type of way. So those people can turn on me, obviously, and poison me. So that's what I'm saying is like, you think you're safe, but then it's hard. How do you trust people? You don't know. You don't know who's been paid off or bought off or who hates you. Maybe you treated someone like shit and they got a vendetta against you and like they're close to you. You know, you never know. So like you gotta like you can't act like when you have all this power like a lot of these people do that like you can't be touched. Like anybody, like seriously, it's just like these people live in such a like bubble where they think that people who have nothing left and they're just going to sit here and just starve to death. Like they have to be able to read the room. And especially with like the hospital, like, dude, why, you know, all of these people just, why the people who are advocating for illegals, like they should have to pay higher taxes, man. Like they're the ones that are still advocating, and they're trying to like stop them from being shipped out of here. So these people, they're the ones should have to pay higher taxes. They're the one that caused this problem. So the people who voted for this should have to pay higher taxes than somebody like me. This is what you wanted. And now you have to pay to get rid of these people. You should be foot the bill. Not all of us. These people that wanted the illegals to come here, they wanted and they want to keep them from leaving. They should have to foot the bill themselves, not the government. So they should have to pay higher taxes to service ICE, or at least like service like all the stuff that the illegals had, like all the money that it took to fund these people. The people on the left should have to like pay back, which won't happen, but like that's something that should happen, because that's what they wanted. Now, I don't mind paying extra taxes to get the illegals out of here, but I don't want to have to like fund. I don't like my car insurance going up and stuff like that. That's because more people are coming here that aren't good drivers. They shouldn't be getting driver's licenses to begin with. So I think that's it, and take it easy.